Good morning, Eastern Oregon, and welcome to this February the 17th version of AM Live on EOA, your connection to Eastern Oregon. How's it going, man?
We gotta
I know. I was
music.
just.
It's terrible. Benny,
I was
no
just thinking.
offense, but
Just
my
thinking.
goodness.
I was just thinking the same thing. Like,
Oh,
okay, we gotta have
fell
Benny
asleep.
change that. It's like.
It sounds like you're like waiting in a doctor's office.
Dear,
Oh my
dear,
goodness.
dear.
Oh, it's terrible. We gotta have
for those,
something a little more.
yeah. For those of you that don't know, Benny Welch he's been with us a long time. He's our primary editor. And there are times we just throw stuff at him. I mean, we don't have to give him much guidance. We just throw stuff at him and like, hey, change that opening, mix it up a little bit. And he just recently did that countdown.
Usually he kills it.
And yeah. But he has a weird taste in music. He's kind of folksy.
Taste in music.
Yeah, and he's getting more into rock and roll now, or I don't know what you call that. But anyhow,
he listens to a lot of grunge.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So, anyhow,
we need some more pace, though, for sure. Like that's a little slow for me, man. I can't go from the music I'm listening to right before we start the show to that and not fall asleep.
Well, and it's funny because, I mean, we're just as neither one of you or I are morning people, but we have to get up at the crack of dawn for this show. And so, you guys don't know, but Kyle and I are separate areas, and we're trying to get juiced up and energized, and then that opening hits or that countdown hits, and it's like
you're just like,
oh Lord,
wake me up when it's over. And it's 5 minutes. It's longer than a regular song.
What's that?
It's longer than a regular song too. It's 5 minutes, and then even the intro music,
right. I know. Yeah,
too.
We can go back to the intro music we had before was pretty kicking. So
yeah,
but
we need something a little bit more. Let's go.
All of that being said, dear Benny, he hits it out of the park consistently.
Absolutely,
without
he's the best.
Very little instruction, with very little guidance. I mean, he does.
I can throw a project in front of him and just give him a couple of ideas, like just, hey, here's what I'm thinking. Make magic every time. Yeah, right. I'm not a morning person, man. I hated early morning baseball games. Oh, they were the worst. Especially in college in Legion, because I mean, early morning baseball games were almost always on the weekend. You're hungover, you feel like crap. It's like 8 o'clock in the morning, you have to get up.
So recently we do a video every year for the Youth for Christ fundraiser banquet, and a huge part of what we do on the production side is learning how to tell a story. And that sounds really simple, but when you watch a video that's well put together, whether it's production or promotion or whatever it might be, you can tell if whoever put it together knows how to tell a story, knows how to fit the pieces together in such a way that it evokes a response. It pulls the viewer in and pulls them along. And Benny and I have been, he started working for me when he was 14. And I have harped on that over and over again. Is we got to tell the story, Bennett. Anyhow, this last Youth for Christ one, he did the entire thing on his own. And it's just, I was so proud of him because
he's done like 5 of those in the last year. What about that Housing Matters one that he did? That was phenomenal. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yep. He just is a great, and it's kind of what's interesting is that telling a story cannot necessarily be taught. It's like an instinctual thing. It's like taking pictures. You have an eye. You have you're learning the technical part of taking photos and getting better all the time, but you also know what it should look like through the lens. And there's a lot of people that just instinctively do not have that. They have to be taught it. You have to learn the principles, and so anyhow.
It's much easier to take pictures of things you enjoy.
Right. Yeah, it is.
Way easier.
Yeah.
Like trying to take pictures of things that aren't passionate about.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure, professional photographers, they have to do that on a regular basis, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But things that I enjoy, I just have I get this visualization in my head of what I want to capture.
Yeah.
And it's just, the technical part, I'm a long, long ways away, but I really enjoy taking pictures. It's really fun. You know what the best part about it is?
What's that?
Showing it to the people that you took the picture of.
Yeah.
And their reaction. Or
Yeah.
just random people's reaction. Like, dude, that's
Yeah.
a really cool picture.
Because they don't see themselves they never get to see themselves in that moment. And that's the power of photography rather than video. When I first started this business, I thought we would make a living doing wedding videography, wedding films. But there's such this attachment to photography, and I understand why, because it captures a moment,
Yeah.
It's incredibly powerful. So
I love it.
Yeah.
And the door is just barely open for me too. Like I can see all these things. I see other people's pictures and what they do with them editing wise, and just all the different things that you can do with pictures. And I'm excited about pictures. I love them.
Cool. Well, you're doing good, man. Well, hey, let's look at this.
Well, it looks dang near like summer out there. There's sunshine. Wait, is this pre-recorded? That's right now.
That's right now.
Didn't look like that when I was on my way here at
8:11. I don't know if the clock is right or not. It looks like it's a little fast, but
wow, it looks like there's sun. There's shadows, so there's sun.
Yeah.
Wow, there was not.
Man,
sun on the way.
You are talking like a photographer, I tell you.
There was not sun on the way to work today. It was foggy and weird, and
because any photographer you look for the shadows. That's what indicates. I'll tell you what's kind of something so interesting is, when we had the eclipse here locally. It was a couple of years ago, and I went and set up. That was
like 5 years ago now, BC.
Yeah, went and set up on top of the Foley building. And we didn't have there. I had other videographers that went towards Baker and that area that were in the place where it was the full eclipse. But LeGrand was like 60 or 70% the blocked, Anyhow, what was really weird was, and I had not known this, but it was right in the middle of the eclipse. The thing that was the weirdest was the lighting, was the shadows. And it was like
dark.
Oh, it was just so well, it was dark, but it was different than, when we experience darkness, normally the sun goes over the horizon and it gets dark. It's just a whole nother thing when the sun is at its regular intensity and it's blocked. It just has a totally different look. Yeah. It's very strange.
I lived in Dallas at the time where it was like one of the best places in the world to go see it. And there was like 50, 60,000 extra people in our little town and the outskirts watching. Yeah. It was a morning, Craig. Yeah, it was a mess over there. It really was. We ran out of everything at the tap house.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We weren't even close.
It's funny. They talked about how severe it was going to be here, and that the interstate was going to be shut down because people were going to be parked on the interstate, and and I think there was certainly a lot of people in Baker City in that area, but we really didn't experience everything that they thought. So, but I can imagine over on the west side.
Oh yeah, it was a mess, BC.
People were looking. Yeah, in fact, I remember.
People were like renting out their front yard for people to camp in and stuff.
I remember Michaela, my daughter, was she was in Portland, and they drove south to get, and I think they said, they talked about that, how that it was a little crazy.
It was a little crazy.
Getting in and out of there.
We had our 3 busiest days ever that weekend.
Really?
At the Tap House, yeah. Yeah, we ran out of everything. It was crazy. It was just busy. It was busy.
Well, hey, should we look at Gabe's weather?
Let's do it.
See what he has to say. Okay, here we go.
Heading into the day on Thursday, we'll top out into the 40s and 50s for the most part, although Baker City will be shy of just 40 degrees. High cirrus clouds will be rolling in. Take a little bit longer to get down to the southern part of our region. A little bit more sunshine out that way. Regardless, heading into the day planner for Thursday for LeGrand, it does look like this. More high cirrus clouds for the afternoon hours, but still a decent amount of sunshine in the mix. Highs will top out well into the 40s with southwesterlies gusting up to 25 miles per hour in spots during the afternoon hours. Heading into my short-term forecast for the Grand Ronde Valley, will top out at 47 for Thursday, drop into the upper 20s overnight, tracking even more sunshine for Friday as temperatures approach 50 degrees.
Nice. We're muted, BC. You're muted.
There we go. How cool is that?
Yeah, he's good. Let's let me run the sports for the weekend real quick,
Yeah.
and then we'll get into what we're going to talk about today.
Okay.
Okay, so tonight we play Mac High. Girls start at 5:30. Boys start at 7:30. It'll be streamed right here on EO Live. It's a conference playoff game. The winner goes to Baker on Saturday and plays. And I don't know how Baker got a better seed than us because we split with them and we beat them by more than they beat us. But I don't know how that works. EOU men's basketball, women's basketball in Portland this weekend. They play Warner Pacific and Multnomah. The softball team goes on the road this weekend again. Their first 17 games of the year are on the road, and they play. Let's see, who does softball play tomorrow? They play Clackamas on Saturday, and then Lewis and Clark College on Sunday. So both Portland games, and then the baseball team has 2 doubleheaders this weekend. Saturday and Sunday at Western Oregon University. Track and field has indoor track and field has a last chance qualifier in Caldwell this weekend. And then the wrestling team starts the conference tournament in Montana on Friday morning at 8:00. And we have quite a few guys that are probably going to qualify for for nationals. We already have a whole bunch of guys that qualify for state for LeGrand.
Cool.
Yeah. Let's talk about Russia.
Russia.
We don't usually talk about this kind of stuff, but
Putin.
It's pretty serious right now. Everything I'm reading, like within the last couple hours, is saying that Russia's gonna pull the trigger anytime.
It's so. What is so? I mean, there's just so much buildup. I guess where's the element of surprise? That's the thing. I keep getting I can't quite understand or get my head around he's been building up all of this stuff, all of these troops, all of this movement, over 100,000 troops, I think, something like that, right?
Yeah, but
maybe more.
Does Russia really need to build up? I mean, do they need to hide the fact that they're going to attack Ukraine?
Well, I don't know that they do, but it's like it's just this conversation has gone on and on and on and on. I mean, literally for a month now. They're building up the border. They're gonna, so
they already have troops across the border.
Yeah.
In Ukraine. The US is telling them they need to pull back, and they just keep sending more and more. And according to all the top officials in the Pentagon, that it's going down. I mean, we'll see.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Are we going to be in another war? We are. I mean, it might be World War III.
Well, I mean, what I saw last night when I watched the news was that so if they do, the main thing that we can do is do sanctions, which then will drive the price of oil up all over the world. So it's
you don't
really
think that the U.S. is going to? No, the U.S. has the U.S. has troops ready to go right now. Like,
yeah, but I don't think that, I don't think that you're going to see. They're not going to wade in. I mean, I would be really surprised. I'd be really surprised if we see American troops or if we see troops from the UN
We
confronting
just moved
Russia.
a bunch of troops over there,
right,
like in the last 24 hours.
right. But all of that is mostly posturing. I mean, it could be.
Don't think, everything I'm reading is saying that we are going to do something.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to be a part of that, but I mean, what do you do?
I don't know. What do you guys think? Any of you out there know more about this than we do?
Yeah,
Pipe
I don't
in.
know
We'd
a
love
lot
to hear.
about
Yeah.
it. I just,
Yeah.
I don't. Bud says we don't need to be there.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, we're allies with Ukraine. There's ties with Ukraine, and it's just, I don't know. Aren't they part of NATO? Didn't they just recently join NATO in the last few years?
Yeah, and I think that's Putin's thing. I mean, I heard somebody talk about a report about this, and so when the USSR broke up, all of these small countries became independent.
Yeah,
and then over a period of time, they themselves have wanted to become a part of NATO. They have more allied with Europe and so on and so forth.
Because they're democratic, right? Yeah, they're a democratic state.
Right. And so then and that's what Putin is upset about. He's upset about that, they're converting over, and I'm not sure how that affects. I mean, that reduces his influence or reduces Russia's influence. And so,
well, like I was telling you this morning, that the chairman of the Joint Chief of Staffs, Mark Milley or however you say his name, he says, and he's the boss. He's like the highest,
right,
besides for Biden. And he said that if Russia invades Ukraine, the results are going to be horrific. I don't think that means a sanction.
Yeah.
Horrific to me means that people are going to die.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, that would be very scary. But
then China's going to get involved too.
But see, I just don't see that happening. I don't, not with our current administration. I don't see them.
So you think that this guy's just blowing smoke?
Well, I mean, ultimately, he's not.
He don't look like a smoke blower.
No, but he serves at the pleasure of the president. So, and
the president's not the one that gets to make the decision on his own whether or not we attack Russia.
No, but he is at the beginning part. He is. I mean, the general can't make that. The general serves at the pleasure of the president. It's the president who initially makes the decision. But I mean, the other process is that the House or the Senate, I'm trying to remember which one does it, but there can be a declaration of war. And I mean, now we're talking seriousness stuff. So, but yeah. So
this is the biggest movement that Russia's ever made since the Cold War.
Yeah. Well, and it's really I mean, trying to figure out what Putin's motive is. What does he hope the end game is going to be? You know what I mean? You just take back Ukraine and that's it. I mean, I just don't. I think that's the question everybody's asking. Is like, where does this go from here? Yeah,
I'm kind of reading this as we go. And that general, he said that Russia's posture along Ukraine's border was unlike anything he's seen during his 4-decade military career. He said the Russians have deployed air forces, naval forces, special forces, cyber electronic warfare, command and control, logistics engineers, and other capabilities along Ukraine's border.
Well, and that's what the person that was speaking about this yesterday on the news, that's what they said, that the initial response would be sanctions and cyber warfare between the two countries.
Cyber warfare. Oh, God. We're going to take over your Twitter.
No, but I mean, truly, I mean, that could affect us. I mean, it could, who knows what, I mean, they could affect the credit card transactions of I mean, you just don't know. I mean, it could make things messy. Yeah. The bottom line is it will affect our lives here at home for sure.
This is the first I've really, really like dove into it was this morning. And I was just like, what is going on? It's crazy. Bud says we do this also as training, maybe not to this extent. Oh yeah, gas prices are they're
Right,
already
and-
gaffling us for gas. It's gonna
Right.
it's
And
just another
I think
reason
that
for
that
people-
will be the thing, because if we, so if we sanction them, then the gas prices will go up, because I'm trying to think that.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry, I thought you were
No,
done.
I just because somehow the Russia's contribution to gas, or maybe it's the Ukraine. I don't know the exact thing, but yeah. What were you going to say?
So you honestly think that after what this Miley guy said about horrific aftermath, you think that if Russia invades Ukraine, we're just going to say, "Hold on, time out. We're gonna sanction you guys."
No,
No.
yeah, I do. I do.
No.
I do.
Way.
But because see, the thing about, there is always this dynamic at the very top between, I mean, the people that are in his position, they want to settle it on the battlefield. That's the tools that they have. You grab the tool that you have to fix a situation, and the tool is, let's send the military and kick their rear ends, So, but you have as many people as there are this generals speaking into the president's ear. There's a whole bunch of people to be like, yeah, but you don't want to start World War III. There's got to be other options for us to do.
Yeah.
So, but let's say they go in, and all of a sudden we hear that hundreds of thousands of Ukrainian civilians are being killed. Now, that's the kind of thing that could trip off World War III. If there's some,
I don't think they're going to go in light. If they're going to go in,
yeah.
Right?
Well, right, but Ukraine, when you look at this historically, like for instance, when Hitler invaded Paris, okay, the force was so overwhelming that they just like, okay, come on in, we give up, because they knew that Germany would overwhelm them. And so yeah, so Ukraine does have its own forces and so on and so forth, but there's no way they can defend themselves.
Yeah, but that's why they joined NATO.
Right.
Because they wanted to be a democratic country, and part of joining NATO is you get that ally. Right?
I wish we had someone who really knew the in and out. Yeah.
I don't know nothing, man. I really don't. I just blow smoke up people's ass.
Yeah.
I don't know why Trump loves Putin so much. I have no idea.
I don't think he does. I think all of that, and boy, that's a big hairy.
I have no idea.
That's a big hairy thing that's going on.
No,
No,
freedom is a costly thing.
But I think if Trump were in the White House, we'd be a lot closer to war than what we are with Biden. I think Biden is more hesitant. So who knows?
Moving forward.
Did
you know, BC? Let me find my pictures real fast.
Okay.
That for the first time ever in history, Victoria's Secret. This is actually really cool. I don't know how to say her name. It's Sophia Giroux. She's South American, and she's the very first Victoria's Secret model with Down syndrome.
Huh.
Isn't that awesome?
That is very cool.
Yeah, so that came out yesterday, and she's the very first Victoria's Secret model ever. So, progression is awesome, and I think everybody's beauty. You know what I mean? There's beauty in everything, and I think it's awesome that Victoria's Secret is the first major modeling agency to take that initiative and include everyone.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool. That
is. But you've watched Victoria's Secret kind of morph over the years. They used to have the runway shows every spring or once a year, whenever that happened, and then the Me Too movement kicked in, and it's like, okay, it's not cool anymore to parade women in scantily clad down runways.
You don't have to have Victoria's Secret anymore. You have TikTok and Instagram. They do it themselves.
Right. But I'm talking about a corporation promoting something. And so then they have they're trying to reinvent themselves. I mean, that doesn't take anything away from what you just said, but it's, I mean, you can't Victoria's Secret cannot change that they sell sexy clothing for women. I mean,
they still have their catalog.
That's their home market.
They still got the Angels catalog.
Yeah. I mean, and they would say, oh no, we provide undergarments. I mean, they would try and feather it one way or another, but their home marketing is, their home marketing. That's what they do. Yeah. Well, Bud, we're wanting to know what you think, man.
Yeah. Victoria's Angels, man.
Yeah. No, but you're right. I mean, it used to be when, you were a kid. It's like, I mean, I remember when the Sports Illustrated swimsuit album was like, I mean, that was their magazine. That was like the bomb, and part of it was like, a sexy magazine that was really widely distributed, and now anything is
they do it completely
available.
Naked.
Yeah.
ESPN, The Body is what it's called.
Oh, really?
All athletes, yeah, and they do it completely naked. I mean, they don't show like the genitalia, obviously, but
yeah.
I mean, it doesn't leave much to the imagination, and it's all different athletes. There's Paralympians, there's all baseball players, football players, skiers. I mean, and they just do the ESPN The Body magazine edition. Tanya and I, we've been watching Jack Reacher, the new Reacher series on Amazon Prime, which is very good. It's funny, the guy, I've never met the guy. I mean, I've never seen this actor in a role before. He's a little robotic, I mean, he just comes across like Arnold in those movies, when he was a robot. I'll be back, but anyhow, I mean, he's like this huge hunky guy. And last night we were watching it, and there was a shower scene, and he's in the shower, and it's like, it was so reversed. I mean, it was exactly everything that cliche-ish that you've seen for the last, you and I might have seen for the last 20 or 30 years, but now it's a guy. And it was, I don't know, it just made me laugh, because it's like, I don't know, it was just funny. I'm sure Tanya was like, finally, this is fair. I mean, because she's, yeah. But anyhow. All right, let's get into this next little thing that I got for you guys. You guys feel free to chime in on this too. We're gonna talk about some funny things, and BC will give his answer to it, and then I'll give my answer to it, and we'll just have some fun with it. All right, if you were transported 400 years into the past with no clothes, nothing, you're just bare naked, how would you prove that you were from the future? How would you prove that you're from the future? 400 years.
400 years ago. Let's pinpoint kind of in our minds when that was. 400 years ago was
1600,
early
1600s.
Okay. And I can't even think of where would you be, and where could you be transported to?
Well, it doesn't matter. How are you going to prove that you're from?
I know, but you could, like, Paris was in existence. I mean, it's like, or England or London or whatever. Bud Forrest, a tattoo, that would be interesting.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a date tattooed on my leg of when my grandma was born and when she died. So that's how I would prove it.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess the only thing you could do would maybe to, if you were familiar enough with history that you could predict some upcoming event. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, you wouldn't be able to predict the next day or like that day. Like,
right. I agree. Yeah. So, but if you were close enough to some monumental thing, I don't know. What do you think?
I tattoo. Tattoo. Yeah. I mean, that's how I would do it. It's got dates on it. I'll be like, look, you see that? That's a long time from now. You guys ain't making tattoos like this yet.
Yeah. They would go like, how did you get that in color?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's magic. All right, here, let's move on to the next one. What is something that's really, really popular now? In 5 years, people will look back on it and be embarrassed by it. I got one. Them stupid pants that girls are wearing. These high, like they wear them all the way pulled up over their belly button. They're, oh man, they're horrible. Not a fan. Or just below their belly button.
Are you
I
talking
don't
about the
remember what
yoga
they call
pants?
them. No,
No,
no, jeans. They wear
jeans.
them pulled way up.
Well, those are legs that's like mom jeans. I mean, that's coming back. No,
Yeah,
that's
but
not what we're
no,
talking about.
kids are wearing those. They're not mom jeans. They're not
Okay.
like this the flexi waist pregnant, like no. They're like fashion jeans that go up to the belly button. We did not wear those when I was in school. Girls did not wear those.
Right. But there's been this constant trend over the last 20 or 30 years. Ladies can pipe in on this, where the waistband has increased. I mean, or decreased. I mean,
yeah, but that's not the question, BC. The question is what's really popular now that's going to be in 5 years going to be embarrassed by.
I know, but what I'm saying is that, yeah, 5 years ago when the trend was the waistband was really low on a woman, 5 years ago the high-waisted jeans were an embarrassment. Then that's where the term mom jeans came from. So yeah, no, I guess I'm sorry. Let me just think of my own answer. I don't know. I personally think, well, I don't.
TikTok. Some of the TikToks that people are going to be like, did I really do that on video?
Yeah. Well, and that's funny because once you put something on the internet like that, somebody's going to download it and they're going to have it forever. And yeah. And so then what happens when that 15-year-old person, 10 years from now is running for senator or something like that? Yeah.
Oh yeah. You remember this?
Yeah.
It's not like when we were kids. Like, no. Nowadays they got proof of everything. If they had proof of some of the dumb stuff I did, oh wow. All right, let's go to the next one. What's you guys chime in on this too? Cell phone, Donna. I don't think cell phones are going to be outdated in 5 years, but maybe like 20 years. I think eventually we're just going to have a little piece that we wear in our ear, though.
No, I think her response was to the previous question, but I don't think she had quite caught that if you went into the future.
Oh, yeah, but you can't take anything with you.
Yeah, you can't take anything with you.
All right, what's the weirdest thing a guest has done at your house? Want me to go first?
Yeah, you go first.
When I was living over in Monmouth, somebody took a pee in my in my oven.
Why would they do that? They were drunk and confused,
yeah.
But how would you get an oven confused with?
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
Tyler, at that time I was living with Chuck and Terrell. Yeah, it was wild. We lived in Monmouth on Broad and Powell, and yeah. What about you, BC? Weirdest thing a guest has done at your house?
Weirdest thing. I tell you, I can't think of anything, but I can think of something pretty funny that I did in my house as a kid that was an accident. And so I was, we had this green carpet. I grew up in Casper, Wyoming, and a really modest household, didn't have much money. And Mom had gone grocery shopping and she brought home a bottle of Clorox. Okay. And I'm watching TV, and somehow this bottle of Clorox had ended up in the living room, and I'm watching TV and I'm not paying attention. And I have my feet propped up on the top of the bottle of Clorox watching TV. Well, somehow it got tipped over. The lid came off, and there was, and of course, when Clorox hits, yeah. So forever, there was this ugly bleached lighter green spot in our carpet, and we were way too poor to ever replace the carpet. So
that's the weirdest thing you or a guest has ever done in your house, is just tipped over some bleach, BC.
Well, it's the thing.
Something better.
I'm sure there's something else. There's some. I mean, I can't think of, but I've not had. What?
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I've just not. But I mean, I didn't grow up in a house that partied. I got married young. I mean, I just have not been. I've not been in situations very often where someone would be at my house and would do something
when I was 15 in high school, I played baseball with all the older guys, so they were all like 18, 19. Yeah. Well, my parents, they didn't go out of town very often, but they went out of town, and I had a party at my house, right? So all the big old party, there's a lot of people there, and I cleaned. I mean, I thought I had that place, and you got to understand, my parents are in recovery; they don't drink. Yeah, and I can say that because it's fine. But anyways, I thought I had that place so clean, BC. First thing my mom does, like within 15 minutes of being home, she opens the oven upstairs, and there's like 20 beer cans in the oven. I was just like, I mean, I had that place spotless, and I never looked in the oven. The oven, man, the oven's a doozy. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I guess I can think of. I guess there was a period of time when teenagers in our basement were smoking pot out of a
pop can.
Out of a pop can, yeah. And it was funny because it's like, I don't know what goes through the minds of kids to think that that smell's not gonna seep up through the floor,
right?
Your parents aren't gonna smell that. You
guys were home.
Yeah.
Oh, I think go outside.
Yeah. So it's just I don't know.
Which daughter was that? Or was
that
I'm
not giving up names.
That was probably Brady.
Yeah.
That was probably Brady. If I had to guess.
Yeah.
All right, next one. In one sentence, how would you sum up the internet? So you need to give a synopsis of the internet in one sentence. Go.
Access to the world.
Okay.
I mean, access to worldwide information. Good, bad. I mean, everything is there. It's just like.
That's a run-on sentence, BC.
Yeah, it is.
The internet is a run-on sentence.
Yeah.
It really is. It's kind of scary, actually.
What was yours?
Well, I mean, I would say the same thing. Good, bad, or indifferent.
Yeah. Do you think it should be regulated? I mean, that's a big discussion. I mean, should it have limits? Should it have?
Everybody people find their way around everything.
Yeah.
So I think it would just be a waste of money and time to try to regulate it, because people are going to find their way around it anyways.
Yeah. I mean,
they already have. I mean, there's like the black web or whatever it is that people talk about, where they sell like kidneys and.
I guess, I mean, maybe if you think about it, in terms of a highway, an interstate. Okay. So there are rules of the interstate. You can't speed, you can't,
Yeah.
And then local laws decide what you can or cannot haul. So in other words, I mean, if you're hauling something illegal on the interstate, then the local laws have determined that one way. And so I think that kind of is how the internet is regulated. It's a gigantic highway, and local laws or national laws or international laws regulate it in some manner or another.
There's definitely a ton more internet laws than there was 10 years ago.
Right.
I mean, there's all kinds of internet laws now.
Right.
And for all different kinds of reasons.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right, we got a couple more. If animals could talk, which animal would be the rudest? Which one would be the rudest animal?
that's like a cartoon. I mean, that's what Disney makes their living at, is
Yeah. Which one would be the
personifying
weirdest?
animals in one way or another. Yeah. Um, I don't know. I mean, I guess the classic one I think of is the what's the little character that spins and eats up everything, and he's not rude.
Tasmanian devil.
Yeah, Tasmanian devil. I don't know. That's just the thing that comes to my head. But who is it? I think like a hyena.
Yeah. Tyler says cats. Cats are a pain in the butt, man.
Cats. Yeah, I mean, you heard that thing is like cats don't have owners; they have staff.
Yeah. Ferrets, interesting.
Yeah. Have you ever been
rude.
around ferrets much?
I've seen them. I don't
I mean,
really hang out with
I
them.
had a friend in high school that, I mean, they're kind of a cool animal, but what I couldn't get, they just smell. They're musty, Not musty.
I would
musty.
say the the one I would think would be rude is like the monkeys at the zoo that throw poop at you and do their thing, and
Right.
they, if they could talk, they'd probably be pretty rude.
Yeah, that's
I would
true.
imagine,
Yeah.
'Cause they're pretty dang smart.
And that's what I mean. Who would? I mean, I forget when I was a kid when we were going somewhere and Dad said, "Well, yeah, you want to be careful because they'll throw their poop at you." You know what I mean? Like, really? They know that it's disgusting. I mean, clearly they understand. I'm going to do something disgusting and throw it at those people that are looking at me.
Yeah, they don't just throw their poop; they do other disgusting things too. And
Yeah.
could you imagine if they could talk like a parrot?
Yeah.
Oh my god! Wow, as smart as they are, like, oh yeah, no, it would be bad. It would be highly entertaining, actually. All right, couple more, and then we'll get you guys out of here. What's the weirdest smell you've ever smelled? The weirdest smell. What's the weirdest smell you've ever smelled? I got mine.
I got mine too. You go first.
Burning flesh. When I got my teeth knocked out,
I was.
They had to cauterize my gums, and it's just this. It's just weird smell, and it's your own flesh. It's not.
That's exactly what I was going to say. But it's. I mean, when you brand cattle.
Oh yeah.
It's the same. It's the same smell. Yeah. I mean, and regardless of how you feel about that, and I mean, I grew up around a ranching family, and that was just a part of life. And but yeah, and what it is, it's protein burning. It's that smell of protein burning.
It's not good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you burn protein on the grill, and it don't smell the same as you burning your self.
Yeah, I suppose so.
I mean, I throw a steak on the grill, and that smells good. They cauterize my gums. That don't smell good.
Yeah, but it's kind of a different. I mean, on the grill, you're cooking it. You're not necessarily singeing it like you would. Well, and that's another thing. Burning hair has a very similar.
Oh, it's terrible.
It's a very similar smell. Yeah.
I always heard that. Like, I think I've read a few things. Like, supposedly, like when you're having a stroke, you smell burning hair.
Really?
Yeah, you have the smell of burning hair.
So it's kind of funny. So Kelsey, my daughter, is a nurse, and one of the tests that you do is if whether you've had a stroke or not is if you go like that. Yeah. And if for some reason, if you've had a stroke, then only one side of your mouth will blow up, And so, sometimes I'll say, I'm not feeling well, honey. Does this look normal?
Yeah, just mess with her.
Yeah. And she'll go, Dad, that's not funny. Don't do that.
Yeah, that's not funny. We got one more of these. You guys chime in on this one. Is a hot dog a sandwich? Why or why not?
Well, I would say no, it's not a sandwich. But why would anyone think it was a sandwich? I guess that's the question.
Because it's in between two pieces of bread.
Okay, yeah, but a sandwich is a sandwich. A sandwich it's flat. A hot dog is round. I mean,
they're
just
definition of a sandwich.
Yeah.
Let's see what because sandwiches aren't always flat. It's an item of food consisting of 2 pieces of bread with a filling in between, eaten as a light meal. So now, hot dog buns, sometimes they're connected, right?
Right.
So, I mean, I guess it's not 2 pieces of bread. It's a hot dog. It's a hot dog.
So, how do you like your hot dogs?
They have to be all beef. I was poor when I was a kid, so I ate a lot of hot dogs, a lot of the cheap ones. I hate them. They're gross.
Yeah.
They got to be all beef hot dogs. I don't mind just eating them plain with no bun, but if I'm going to have a bun, I want at the very minimum mayonnaise and mustard, no ketchup. But if I could have it my way, I want some pepperoncinis and some mayonnaise, mustard, and sauerkraut.
I tell you, so I like mine. I mean, if it's just a hot dog, a normal hot dog, I like them somewhat brown. I mean, I like them when they're cooked. And they've got
I don't want it soft.
No, but I mean, when I was a kid, we used to have hot dogs and you just boil them and get them warm. It's like, yeah. So, I mean, I like hot dogs split and put on the grill them, that way. And
That's
when they're
the best way.
Yeah. So, but I'll tell you, so Di Larson Hill makes this relish, and it comes out every time at Celebrate La Grande. And I mean, it's got sauerkraut in it. It's a sweet relish. It's amazing.
I don't want sweet on my hot dog. That's part of the reason why I don't like ketchup. I don't like this. I don't like ketchup on anything. I put ketchup on one food item.
Really?
That's it. And I mix it half and half with hot sauce. And that's hash browns, like fried potatoes. That's the only thing I put ketchup on.
So then let's go back to your hot dog. What do you put on it again? So
mayonnaise,
you put on
mustard at the minimum.
Okay.
And then if there's sauerkraut or pepperoncinis, I'll put that on too. But no relish. I would put a dill pickle on if they had like some dill relish.
Yeah.
I don't want the sweet on there. Nope. On a burger, mayonnaise, mustard. That's it. No ketchup. I don't.
Do you ever get a burger that you don't mess with? You just take it exactly like it is, or do you order it specifically the way you like it?
Well, I mean, in a restaurant, they don't put the condiments on it, so I don't care. Like they put usually they put the lettuce and tomato and stuff on here, and then the burger over here, and you can take off. Because I don't do tomatoes, and I don't do uncooked onions either, unless they're red. I'll eat a red uncooked onion, but like regular uncooked onions, not a fan.
So the gal that used to own the Cove Steakhouse, she's actually lives here in La Grande and wants to open up another restaurant. Anyhow, she would grind up steak to make burgers. That was the first thing she'd do. Yeah. And then, but I mean, that was the only burger. It was humongous. It was the only burger that, I mean, I ate it just exactly the way it came. Yeah, I didn't touch it. Because I like mayonnaise, and and so I will add mayonnaise to a ton of stuff. But
see, I don't really like mayonnaise. I only eat mayonnaise on like very light on burgers and hot dogs. I'm not I don't want to like really like wet potato salad with mayonnaise, or macaroni salad with mayonnaise. Nah. I just want it real light, just enough to not.
So what do you like about mayonnaise?
What don't I like? I don't like the taste of it.
What do you like about mayonnaise? Why do you?
I think just the moisture. I like the combination of mayonnaise and mustard mixed together. I think kind of lightens the mustard a little bit, makes it a little more creamy. Yeah.
I'm laughing because what a weird conversation with we started with Russia and we're on to burgers. Yeah.
We're talking about mayonnaise. Oh god.
Oh.
And then just think how mayonnaise is made and just what it is. And
yeah, I don't want to know that if it changes my opinion. Yeah, when I graduated from college, I had some friends that got me a gallon jar of mayonnaise. That as
Oh.
a joke. Yeah, it was.
Have you ever just eaten it?
Yeah, I mean, the
Oh,
other day
I couldn't do it.
I made crab salad for the Super Bowl, and that has a ton of mayonnaise in it, you know, and there was some left over on the spoon, and but it was actually too much. Is like, I mean, if there's a little bit, I'll, you know, lick off the spoon and put it in the dishwasher or whatever it was.
Oh,
Yeah.
not
Anyhow.
me.
Tyler
Hey,
said,
hey,
this
if
is more
you're
my
gonna make
speed.
like tuna salad, right?
Yeah.
So first off, I'll only eat the white tuna, like the white albacore tuna.
Okay.
Like, I'm not eating that stuff in the oil. It has to be in water. And
Okay.
then literally, BC, I put like half of a fork of mayonnaise in there, and that's it. Like just a little bit of mayonnaise, just enough to and then I put a little bit of mustard on the bread, salt and pepper. That's it.
Hmm.
And
So you really don't want to taste the mayo.
No.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to taste it at all. I've tasted it a couple times, like just by itself, and ooh.
See, and I like potato salad, and I like potato salad with dill pickles and mayonnaise and mustard, you know, but it's got to be, if it's dry potato salad, my first inclination is I'll take and scoop some up for me, put it in a bowl, add mayo to it, man. 'Cause yeah.
We used to make I'm not a huge fan of potato salad, but I make a mean German potato salad, a warm one, and I like that. That ain't got no mayonnaise.
Warm potato salad?
German potato salad, yeah.
Yeah.
Red potatoes, bacon, caramelized onions. Oh yeah.
That sounds
Vinegar.
like it would. That sounds like it'd be delicious with mayonnaise.
Oh, it's no. You're not allowed to put mayonnaise in there. It would be delicious with some German mustard and a little bit of vinegar.
Yeah.
A little bit of oil. Which, I mean, oil is in mayonnaise, I guess.
Do you ever make like I make a super cheese sandwich. So what I will do is make it like normally a grilled cheese I'm talking about. So you make it the way that you normally do. But then I will take some Parmesan cheese, mix it with mayo, okay? And then what the upside of the piece of bread, once you put that in the pan to grill, then the upside I will put the Parmesan cheese and mayo on. Flip it over. Do the same thing on the other side.
Makes grilled cheese sandwiches with mayonnaise instead of butter. That's criminal.
Well, I mean, you can do the same.
Part of a grilled cheese is the real butter.
Yeah, you can do the same thing with butter.
I won't eat margarine either.
Yeah, I'm not a margarine eater.
You couldn't even pass off a cookie with margarine on it to me.
Really?
No, I could tell. When I was a kid, like the highlight of going to grandma and grandpa's house was they had real butter.
Yeah, me too.
And
I didn't.
We just had janky margarine, like the little 99-cent nasty tubs.
Yeah.
And you go to grandma and grandpa's house, and the first thing I would do is get rye toast, real butter, and raspberry preserves from Knott's Berry Farm.
See, I think that popcorn is just a carrier for butter and salt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and the same thing with toast. Toast is just a carrier for butter. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's
got to be real butter though. You can't be putting that margarine on there. Like for the longest time, I didn't understand like why, like if you bought like, say like, Safeway's garlic bread, right?
Uh-huh.
You can't eat that. That's disgusting.
And because it has margarine? Oh.
Yeah, it's not butter. Oh. But my mom makes it. She'll buy the French. She'll take like fresh chopped garlic and real butter and put it on there, and it's like,
yeah.
Yes, sir.
Good stuff.
All right, let's do on this day and get them.
All righty, man.
On this day in 1876, February 17th, 1876, sardines were canned for the first time by Julius Wolfe in Eastport, Maine. 1876, wow. Sardines were canned. You'd have thought it would have been earlier than that, but maybe they jarred them before that. Maybe they threw them in a jar or salt. That's probably what they really did before was just salt the heck out of them. And in 1958, the comic strip BC first appeared. 1968, the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame was opened in Springfield, Massachusetts. That's funny because Springfield, Massachusetts is like what The Simpsons is named after too.
Oh, really?
Oh, here's a good one. I don't know how to say the name of the song, but it's fine. In 1972, Italian tenor Luciano Pavarotti received 17 curtain calls, which is still a record for his performance in La Fille du Regiment at New York's Metropolitan Opera. 17 curtain calls? What does that take? A whole day?
I don't know. I don't know what the point would be. You know, I mean,
did
normally
he have 17 songs ready to go?
Right. That's what I'm wanting. Yeah. I mean, normally when you do a curtain call, you come back out and do another tune. So
yeah. So
how
what
did that look?
Did he have just 17 up his sleeve ready to rock? 17 curtain calls. In 1995, on this day, a federal judge allowed a lawsuit claiming that U.S. tobacco makers knew nicotine was addictive and manipulated its levels to keep customers hooked. 1995. And this one, and this is, I put this one in because last night the U.S. women's team lost to Canada in the gold medal game. But in 1998, the USA women's ice hockey team beat Canada on this day and won their first Olympic gold medal ever for the U.S. women's hockey team. Let's get to the number one song on this day. I think this was in 2012. Let me check just to make sure. Yeah, 10 years ago. Kelly Clarkson, Stronger. Number one song on this day 10 years ago. I forgot to say this real fast. Let me talk about it real fast. Buffalo Peak, men's and ladies night last year. So they're having a meeting on Saturday, February 9th. They'll host a men's night meeting to talk about the 2022 season. And then on Saturday, February 26th at 4, they will have a ladies night meeting to talk about the 2022 season, which is coming up real quick. So, and then finally the quote for the day. Boom. There it is, BC. Stop waiting for Friday, for summer, for someone to fall in love with, for life. Happiness is achieved when you stop waiting for it and make the most of the moment you're in now. Boom. I'm not repeating that one. It's too long. But when we see him again. Oh, basketball tonight. It'll be live streamed right here starting at 5:30, maybe a little bit before then. Yeah. Oh, lacrosse for EOU has a home game this weekend. They got their first real win ever, and they're playing at home this weekend. Let me tell everybody what time that's at real fast, because that's a pretty significant thing. This is their first real home game ever, and their coach is cool. Their teams they're fun, and it's a different sport, and they need about as much support as they can get. So let's see, lacrosse. They play at home against Willamette on Saturday at 1 p.m. And then they play Linfield on Sunday at 1 p.m. right here up at Community Stadium. It's free. So the thing about lacrosse this year is all the home games are free. So get up there and support it. Watch a new sport and have some fun with it.
So 1 o'clock Saturday and Sunday.
1 o'clock Sunday, yep. Willamette and Linfield.
Cool.
Yeah.
All righty. Thank you, Eastern Oregon. We'll see you Tuesday right here.